Floppy warms up, and once he does, it gets scary.
Oh yeah, he's such a good player, such a good rifler, strong player as well, who will also do whatever it takes for his teammates to have success. But here we go. CT side defense for Team 1 here on Nuke. It is their bright spot. Their T side only about a 36.6% win rate. So they need to build up whatever kind of score they can here on the defense. Mobs is going to get destroyed. Maluki falls as well. SNS is smoked. And Pace has been double doinked. It's an absolute blowout here for Extra Assault onto the A site. They bust through, and it's all down to PRT and SNS. And are they even going to commit to this, John? They could just save the armor.
Man, that is a rough go to have to save armor on your pistol round, but that's exactly what they're going to do. SNS hits a nice shot on OC at the very least, but this round's already been decided unless they choose to go back into it, which, I mean, JT's heard the footsteps. No, they're going back towards CT spawn to save.
It's not a realistic retake for him.
No, it's not, and they don't have the kit, of course, to work with, but this is the problem. You talked about Team 1 not having the best of T sides here on Nuke and needing to pick up the rounds on CT side. I mean, yeah, they do, but Extra Salt is at the top, I would say, in terms of their T side play, tied with probably Pain and the Bad News Bears on Nuke. They're really, really strong, and it's hard to deal with their aggressive style of play that they employ. And I think on Nuke, it's something you have to be really good at. You have to have a good, aggressive, fast hit onto the A site to keep the other team on their toes.
Yeah, those A-pops are so hard to defend because you're still getting set up, you're still getting your utility out. A lot of times a team can beat the Molotov or just about get out there before it pops. Then you have that fast smoke, the nade combos towards the door. And now in the outer yard play from Extra Assault, they're going to mow down the scout of Maluki. Unbreakable is Pesadillo, but he is finished off there by another combination of Floppy and Ozzy this time. On the A side, it's looking to be an A split as they'll go through Mini, PRT, back Silo, jumping around with the MP9. We'll have to take a nice long-range duel with that SMG, and it's not going to work out well for him. Markey finds XNS in the meantime, and Malbs in a 1v5. It's looking like another flawless round for Extra Assault.
Yeah.
5 on the first map of Inferno, and maybe they'll get one here. Oh, well, they won't. Good shot there from Mobs.
Yeah, Mobs has had these moments of brilliance with the Deagle throughout the series, but it hasn't really materialized into anything. There's a second one, but he will finally go down. 2 good shots, but it only does a little bit of damage to the economy of Extra Salt, who will be able to absorb that. At least force them to buy up a couple of rifles again. But you see Team 1, they did force up in that previous rounds, which means they'll be on an eco here. And I found my stat for Extra Salt for Nuke, and it's unfortunately for Team 1 more bad news. Extra Salt have won 8 of their last 10 maps here.
There we are. Is it 11 straight on Inferno and now 8 out of 10 on Nuke?
Yeah, it's actually 8 out of 10 on Overpass, Nuke, and Vertigo, Austin.
So the only maps that you have not really won are Ancient and Dust 2?
That's correct.
And they don't play Mirage, so that's not really
They do not play Mirage.
Oh, this is a nice little cleanup here from
gosh.
everybody on Extra Salt. Markey putting in some work on towards the A site. Malbs! You think about doing that earlier when your teammates are still alive, man? Come on. What is this?
His Deagle is crazy. That's 4 Wandigs.
Yeah.
All 4 frags for Mobs and 4 of the 5 frags for Team 1 in the first 3. Oh, jeez.
But where is it when his team is still alive?
I mean, he's not getting the opportunities. That's the problem.
They're avoiding him.
Yeah, well, as he should when he has a Deagle in his hands. Anyway, 3-0 for Extra Salt. Here comes the first full buy round for Team 1. Hopefully we'll see a little more from them here. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised Team 1 didn't try for Ancient. I know they don't necessarily like playing it, but Extra Salt are more vulnerable there than they would be on Inferno, and Floppy just destroys Pesa right off the bat here. Malbs will get the response, but XNS falls, and then okay, PRT manages to recover. He could get a second one for himself here around the edge of the smoke, but Fang plays it very well and gets back to cover, giving OC a chance to close the gap against Malbs and take him down. 3v2, but Fang is very exposed here. He has to be careful with how he proceeds.
And now with Markey getting demolished there, that makes it so much more difficult. And OC's so low, John. This is not a good spot for Extra Salt to be in. PRT catches the timing, but Fang wins the duel. And this is now all down to the shoulders of Maluki. We saw him with a good clutch earlier on Inferno. But he's going to have to make an even better play here. But he could catch Fang. No, the timing looks away. He's going straight down to B, which is the right call. But there's a Molotov in the fence to ward him off. And it's almost like Extra Salt know exactly what's in his mind at this point.
Oh, man,
another one.
they doubled up.
That's so good.
I think the audio cue was heard, yeah. Doors open, they throw the smoke right away. Even before the door was going to be opened, they had an inkling of where Maluk wanted to go. And at this point, I mean, he can try, right? He can try to get a shot, but the better move be to save the op because the odds of him coming through with the victory here are kind of slim. So,
Yeah.
he does back off, but that gives Extra Salt a 4th in a row on their T side.
4 in a row on T side and a 4-0 start against the one side that Team 1 finds success on this map. It was a 16-6 the last time these two teams met on Nuke. Well, at the very least in the early going, it's looking like we might be seeing a similar scoreline again in the favor of Extra Salt. This next round is going to be pretty critical for Team 1 in the early going to basically keep them in without allowing Extra Salt to grow their lead about 5, 6, 7 rounds before Team 1 are even able to get something significant back into it. They're not going to force up around the op significantly. They're going to go for a half buy around it, which I do like the call because Maluki can get the op up into the next round. Anyways, you have max loss, so get yourself a full buy with that op in hand instead of just trying to throw all your eggs into this one basket here. Do what damage you can to Extra Salt. If you pick up a rifle or two, maybe you can get something going. We know how good Malbs is with the Deagle. And PRT's actually going to open next. No, it's Malbs with 2! Malbs has got 2 on the Deagle. As I mentioned his name, he decides to show up, and here comes Maluki with 2! How's he get the second shot? It's all down to JT. It's collapsing for Extra Salt. But now JT is finding his shots. 3 on the round. And can he pull this back? But wait. Look at Maluki. Look at Maluki's position here. He's on top of the outer yard lobby.
But JT
He's playing on top of it. But is JT aware of this?
I think so.
He spotted him! No way! He's gonna do this! John,
Oh my goodness.
He's at his speed. Whoa!
Oh! PRT gets the final frag. I was about to say that's going to be JT's second ace in the last month, but no, denied at the very last moment. How well played is that from JT, though, to even bring it down to a 1v1? And that helps, right? Because Team 1 could have picked up all the rifles, would have had a field day unless JT pops off like that. So they have to invest into this round. Hurts their economy a lot more. Maluk has the money, but everyone else below $1,000. That said, a very nice play by Team 1. You were asking, where is Malbs getting when is he going to get those frags? In critical moments? Well, there you have it. 2 openers that really changed the complexion of round number 5. But to kick things off in round 6, it's Floppy to get the opening frag. And of course, Extra Salt still had enough money to absorb that round loss. And there's a second for JT. He's really found his rhythm.
He really is. That almost ace has got to give him a lot of confidence, too. The read onto Maluki, I think, was the most brilliant part of that whole round for him. That's a good pickup on the PRT. A flawless round for Extra Salt in return. They don't want to let those eco rounds go against them. You know what? You can have that round. Cool. We'll just go ahead and dumpster you in the next. That's a great response coming out from Extra Salt.
It is.
Another half buy has to come through here from Team 1.
I don't know. I mean, Maluk has enough for the op. He might invest into that. Okay, so Maluk's going to invest into an op and get the body armor, but everyone else on pistols. I don't mind it because he had enough to stay around the 2K mark, right?
Yeah, I still technically count this as a half buy because he's still in that half buy economic territory. It's just that he has a $4,700 gun instead of a Deagle or a CZ, and he's going to try and take the initiative again. That's a good flashbang, though, but he has a friend with him. OC and company working out to his trophy room. Maluki unable to get the kill, but Fang and OC will land the shots. Take a lot of damage, but Marky's picked up another. It's all down to pace and XNS, and no Malbs means no Deagle heroics, I feel, right now. Now the Deagle's on the ground. It's all down to CZ from XNS. He will mow down JT. Floppy's there for the trade. 6-1. It's the start that Team 1 had on Inferno that Extra Salt now put on the board here on Nuke.
Here's the only thing I'm not too fond of on that play. I admire Maluk, you know, going for the aggression, charging up, but and he's still going to get an op in this round, so I guess that's why. Okay, so if he's going to, he obviously could afford the op and the body armor, so it's okay, but I would have still preferred if maybe they insulate Maluk a little bit, kind of put the pistols out first, and then have him follow up with a couple of frags, maybe, if he can bounce back after the first one's found from Extra Salt, assuming it is. Maybe the pistol would be able to do the work. Anyway, look, it didn't work out for Team 1. Clean sweep for Extra Salt again. And OC's going to get tagged down to 26 here as Team 1 do bring the rifles right on back. Last time these two teams played here, Team 1 was able to get 5 rounds on their CD side, and it just wasn't enough. I think they need to put a stop to Extra Salt right here.
They do. It is almost getting beyond time for them to get another round on the
Yep.
board. And one thing I would have thought about that last round too, we have a bit of a dead time, is maybe dropping a few SMGs. You could have dropped 3 or 4 MP9s for the price of that one op.
Yeah.
And that would have given you probably much more ROI.
There are a lot of different ways that it could have been approached. So, either way, OC is going to get the opening frag after taking the opening damage in the round, as pace has dropped and JT's taking control of the big garage, but that will be rescinded. Maluk does use that op this time to get 1 and the second. I thought OC had a beat on him, and he did. He connected, but Maluk goes down to 1 HP. Oh my goodness. Luck favoring him this time, but not for long. Floppy will take him down. What is that flick? What is that flick, Floppy?
Floppy is a very good player, but this is not normally. What was that?
I think he just got connected on and immediately, like, just instinctually fired in the direction the tracer came from. Fang is going to get X and S. It's back and forth action here. 1v1. Malbs against Fang. Malbs knows where Fang is. He hears the audio cues, and Fang tries to throw a smoke on the bomb, and Malbs will capitalize. There you have it. A crazy round back and forth, but Team 1 close it out. Those shots from Floppy, the second one.
I want to see that shot again.
I do too. Like, that was insane.
Oh. He also could have maybe like hit his keyboard or something too. That could have just been complete and total luck. There's a lot of things that could have happened there to get that shot to connect. Either way, I'm sure he was losing his mind about it as much as we were.
Yeah.
Look at the buy for Team 1 though. Double MP9s, a couple M4s in the saved AK. Utility is scrappy at best. Not very strong. The outer smoke wall is going to allow a cross, but JT's very low on the initial spray. You're going to leave Marky in, and OC's been tagged down too. Maluki's doing so much with this M4 spam. But Extra Salt don't seem to be deterred. They're marching down towards Secret, down towards the B site, and Marky's lurk has already paid for 1 kill. But that's only 1 kill. Both Malbs and Maluki are ready for this B take. They know exactly what's coming from Extra Salt.
Yeah, Mob's looking in the right direction as well. Fang stops up. He's waiting, maybe expecting someone to be on the other end, and Mob's going all the way towards backside. He loses that angle into observation, but they still have 1 player back, and he still finds a way to get a frag. There's 1, maybe a second for Mobs. Finds it, and Maluk pitches in for 1, but only 1. Fang survives and could get a bomb plant out of this. In fact, I'd be surprised if he didn't. But it looks like he wants to take the fights first. Ooh, this could be a mistake because XNS and Pacer are both coming in. He gets 1, and then the second is traded out by XNS. Team 1, they got 2 in a row.
And again, when they needed to get those 2 in a row, John, they did. They could not afford to let any more go to Extra Salt realistically without getting something in terms of response. And they finally start to come alive here. They're not going to be on the best of buys again, but the utility is much stronger this round than it was in the round previous.
And here's the problem, though, I think, for Team 1, is that, look, Extra Salt are extremely strong on both sides of this map, and getting 6 rounds on T side for any other team is already really good. So Extra Salt have set themselves up for a potential, double digits on their T side. We'll see. Yeah. Team 1 have answered quite well over the last 2. They do need to do the same and continue to punish, because those AKs continue flowing on forward from Extra Salt. Mobs will catch off the head of 1 player, but he can't connect with the shot. So he gets the information and then backs off to the B site.
Are they going to go back towards B? It looks like they're pushing down the ramp. Malbs is in a good spot. Maluki is joining up with a Marky with a great entry onto the site. XNS takes out JT elsewhere, but Maluki's come through to control. He's only good for 1, 2v2, but Fang is so low. Floppy's going to punch in those digits, get that bomb down, get that timer ticking, but no, he repositions. He's now dead to Rice to XNS. Perfect prediction. And if he would have taken the wide open plant, he would have been safer. Ironically enough, it's all down to Fang, this time in a low HP 1v2. And really, there's not much you can do in this situation. I agree. Just look at your AK, because that's about the only thing you can.
Enjoy the Fire Serpent there.
The hollow LDLC sticker.
Yeah. Not too shabby.
Ah.
Oh, he jumps down, he goes for the fight, and he can't take it. XNS finds himself a 9th here, and again, he's proven to be quite important. The good news for XNS this time is he's not the only one fragging out. Mob's back to his usual ways. He's got 11, had 2 in that round, and Team 1 with 3 in a row are looking the way they need to on their CT side to bring the fight to Extra Salt.
But John, there's a problem over on that Team 1 scoreline.
Yes.
Pace is 0-10.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I'm looking through. I'm like, oh wait, where's XNS? Oh, there he is. Wait. I see a 0 in the kill count. That does not look right.
Ah,
I didn't even notice that.
You're supposed to miss it. Pesa didn't want anyone to see.
He does have. There he does
There
a
you
kill!
go, there he goes.
Let's go. I always hate to see that O score line on somebody this deep into a game, so it's always good to see somebody break that snake bite. Maluki's gonna mop up a couple. He's been very good on the aim for A1, almost better on the A1 than he's been on the op this game so far. And he's up there in that 9-kill range too. Leaving just Marky on the Deagle. Wasn't a very heavy investment from Extra Salt here.
No.
This is to be expected. The result. They don't have the pistol luck that Team 1 do, apparently.
Whew. Alrighty. Team 1, 4 rounds in a row, looking to make it 5 here, but Extra Salt are bringing the rifles to bear. AKs across the board, full utility for them. They want to find themselves back into the win column. Team 1 already tying the amount of rounds they achieved against Extra Salt the last time they were on Nuke. In the end, they only got one more than that as it finished 16-6. Gotta keep Extra Salt off of double digits here on their T side. I think that's the #1 thing for Team 1, and that's a great start. Again, they go for a lobby crunch. All the control in the world. Marky goes down. They've got the information. The thing is, if Extra Salt decide to come in after they give up the space, if they give up the space, it will be problematic. But they don't, so now Team 1 knows that Extra Salt has to go toward the outer yard. XNS spamming the smokes. JT's managed to slip on through. He might make his way in towards Mini, and that could spell trouble. But no, he chooses to go to lockers, and still, Team 1's not going to expect him to be up this close.
No, they're not, and Fang's also picked up 1 towards the outer yard, too. But do they expect 2 more players down here in towards Hell? JT's up, Fang's joining him in towards the Heaven Walk. Where's Maluki's position? Is he inside Squeaky? Yes, he is. This is a really good spot for him, too, but he's going to come out instead and keep an eye on that Heaven. He's got an idea of where they can be coming from. The nade will not do damage. There is no sound cue. And OC's just waiting for that smoke to pop in towards Mini so he can go through unobscured. JT clearing forward now, but will they expect the fast rotation of the players down in towards Hell? Utility's going to give away the play. Floppy's picked up Maluki, though. In comes the push towards the A site. Mob's yet to pop through. He's going to climb up now. Here comes a potential double. He's got at least 1 on the blind side, and the nade will follow up. 3v3. No, it's a 3v2. The damage is being dealt. It's all down to Fang. He's got 1. He's got 2, but he cannot get the 3rd. Pesa's heating up. Team 1 tie it up. We're at 6 apiece, and this is a big round again from Team 1. That's a streak of 5 in their favor. And when they were looking down and out, they found new life. And Maluki's got his op in hand again.
So many of these round victories for Team 1, though, are coming down to 1v1s, and that's why they're unable to really build up their economy. So as soon as they lose a round, then Extra Salt will be able to, of course, strike on back against an eco. But the important part for Team 1 here is that they've prevented Extra Salt from getting into double digits, and they could even find themselves at 7 here. Good opener by Maluk. The best gun, well, arguably the best gun that's been purchased by Extra Salt here is the Scout, but we all know how lethal that Deagle can be at only $700.
Yeah, the Deagle, we've seen it work so many wonders in Mob's hands. We'll see if Floppy, JT, and OC can come up with something similar. But I have to say, it's been a great mental response again from Team 1, almost like what happened towards the tail end of Inferno, where they just decided they just found some new sort of strength and started hitting some shots. But Asa's only got 1, and Maluki's fallen. In comes OC for another attempt on the Deagle. Mobs will retain his Deagle King status with that trade. But now it's Fang with a Scout and JT with a D, trying to tag him and bag him. It looks like they're all out of body bags, and they're definitely out of tags, and they're out of life too. Mobs with the spray down for 3 in the round. He's now starting to play to the level that we know and love. Top of the scoreboard for his squad, and for the server as well. Extra Salt cooling off, and giving Team 1 potentially a 9-6 half. While Extra Salt are very good on the CT side, and Team 1 not so much on T, it's still a lifeline, and it's still something they can use to build off of.
This is kind of the trend that you're seeing as of late on Nuke. You know, the Ts get off to a good start, they pick up 5-6 rounds, and the CTs find their economy and their fragging power, and they're able to strike on back and usually win quite a few rounds in a row, as you're seeing Team 1 do here. That said, Extra Salt do have the rifles and full utility back. Pace is doing a good job spraying on forward. I love the adjustments that Team 1's made, the aggression that they've shown. I'm really just not shying away from any of the fights. as Fang is going to come through here into lobby. And XNS, he's thinking about it, but he will be backing off out of the hut and holding his ground at A. 3 players waiting here for Team 1. 1 in mini, 1 in the rafters, 1 XNS playing default.
Little damage into Floppy. They're still ready for this A pop. It worked on the pistol round. They haven't really tried too much of a heavy A play lately. They've been shut down by the aggression of Team 1, but in comes the utility. PRTs from the rafters. He gets one blind. XNS picks up another. They cannot get through the choke points. JRT finally gets one, but there's still XNS to deal with, and he still gets another before he falls. Floppy, though, doubles out onto the site, and this is something that can bring Extra Salt back into this round. Mobs the flashbang, a Molotov to counter. Paces up close, and OC's gone, but Floppy's still here. The Flopmeister falls. It's Pesa now, and he does not want to remember those 0 kills, John. They seem like an eternity ago because Pesa has been so impactful for Team 1 in these last few rounds.
Yeah, 8-0 for Pesa since being 0-10. So certainly evening things out quite a bit. And Mobs has been absolutely integral, alive at the end pretty much in every single one of these round victories for Team 1. And getting the frags as well. If not getting the frags, at least having the presence that puts the fear in the minds of Extra Salt and makes them worry about a position. All right, Team 1, 15th and final round of play. They've done exactly what they had to up until this point since Extra Salt got those 6 rounds on the board, which is win every other one. Mob's going to spray through the... not through the smoke. In fact, Floppy comes through, he gets 1, 2, and a 3rd with the USP! OC goes down, 4v2 in favor of Team 1. B-Ramp has been given up, but, I mean, this should be an advantage for Team 1.
How has he been allowed to get that 3rd on the USP? That's my big question. That's the double spray I get. The second spray was just absolutely beautiful, but the kill on the USP is just insane. In fact, he manages that one, but Marky and Fang doing even more incredible work as they're able to get the B site under their control, at least for now. PRT's going to swing, he's going to be spotted. Marky sprays him down, controls it, and it's all down to XNS. He'll take down the first, but that's the information. Fang, he's been in a couple 1vx's before, but he's been unable to convert that in a round for Extra Salt, looking for a 7th on the T side of Nuke. Fang holding behind the boxes, waiting for the peak of XNS. He takes the initiative, but he takes the brunt of that damage. Now XNS knows exactly where he is. Fang, the time is dwindling. 1 tap to finish it off. A round-ending kill. And Extra Salt, after a streak of 7 from Team 1, find a round. Can they finish it on half number 2? This one is a lot closer than Inferno's first half. 8-7. 1 round separating these 2 teams, John. And it all comes down to this map for Team 1. If they lose it, they drop down to the lower bracket. If they win it, we go to Overpass and see who moves on to the upper bracket final. Extra Salt now on the CT side. Floppy's got 1. Marky's got a 2nd kill. Headshots flying into the USPs and only 1 in return. But now there's another. Marky's out of ammo. It's a collapse of Extra Salt and Team 1 busting into the A site. But JT has the high ground and he has the bomb at his feet, but he's not going to stick around too long from that angle. But is he going to try it once again, going back up the ladder? Yes, he is.
I like it. Comes back. They don't expect him to be there. He saw PRT got caught off guard. He was checking towards Mini. All right, now they fall off. They say, look, we're going to wait. JT knows the kit right around that corner near the bomb, so he can go and fight a little bit longer. Drops down. They must have heard that. He's going to grab that kit, probably try and fake the defusal. Does fake the defuse, forces the peak to come up from PRT. Will he get the frag? No! PRT ends it, and Team 1 get kicked off on the right foot of their T side with a 9th round victory overall. So what I was going to say is Team 1 obviously needs to have one of their best T sides perhaps ever on Nuke, or I shouldn't say ever, at least over the last 3 months, because their win percentage, like you said, is not the greatest.
No, it's not. But Team 1 have now won 3 out of 4 pistols in this series.
Yeah.
And this is an incredibly impactful one because it keeps them in the lead. Although Extra Salt are going to force back into this one. There's 4 MAC 10s for Team 1. This is an incredibly risky play. They're busting out on the side, but the SMG of Floppy's going to be able to do some damage. It will find a kill. Marky's mopped up as well. Fang had fallen elsewhere on the map. And it's a clean A bust once again from Team 1. This time much stronger than the pistol round itself. And the MAC 10s, they seem to be the exact perfect weapon for this situation.
Yeah, I mean, Malv was blinded. Oh, nice shot from OC. He takes down Maluk, and JT got one as well. There it is. Maybe a 2nd for himself. OC finds XNS. JT finds PRT. I mean, there's still time.
Go for it.
I think without the kits, they're probably just going to say, we can't really go for this one. But here comes JT charging on in. Pesa drops him.
There's a kit.
Oh, there's a kid on the ground. If OC gets this, he can find it. He's going to throw a smoke, try to stick to the fusel. Pesa spams through the smoke. He might not get this. Oh, OC comes off it. He didn't have time, I guess, and he goes for the frag instead. Oh, man. Great effort by Extra Salt. They take down every single member of Team 1, but they don't get the round.
That is close for Extra Salt. I didn't think they were going to have a chance back into it, and all of a sudden, it's a 2v1. I didn't even realize there was a kit done on site either, but Extra Salt certainly did. They tried to get it, but they just weren't able to. Close but no cigar, but they're going to counter-force again. This is back-to-back forces. An incredibly risky call, but given how much success they had in the previous round, I actually don't mind this whatsoever. They have a shotgun in the hands of Marquis too, and on Nuke, it can farm. He misses the first, but there he goes. Floppy's got another. In comes Floppy and Marquis. They're mopping it up. Only one casualty so far. Next and S is on 10 HP. Marquis gets the second with the Mag 7. They get the Swag 7. And Extra Salt's forced by stunts Team 1's growth of rounds.
Oh, and it helps the economy so much with those shotgun frags. Team 1, like, they got overzealous, I think, because they went with that quick hit twice. It worked, so hey, let's do it again. No, Extra Salt's going to pick up on that one, and they did. And as a result, Team 1 have no money to really invest in this round, but they're going for the force buy in turn. It's been force buy after force buy, whether it be Extra Salt or Team 1. What are they going to do this time? Are they going to go for another quick hit? I'd be very surprised if they did. Well, Fang will get one and the second outer yard in his control. He is not ceding it to anyone until, well, PRT does get the shot on him to find the frag. But Pesa engaging with JT is going to go down, and so does Floppy, or so does PRT, excuse me. He gets Floppy. I can't speak. English is failing me, but Floppy did get that frag, and XNS the last one standing.
That's some good damage there with a couple Deagle kills. And XNS with a nice shot before he eventually falls, but Extra Salt will hold on. They will finally hold serve because it seemed that breaking was the style of play everyone wanted to do. But Extra Salt finally maintained the status quo. They'll win the anti-force spy and send Team 1 on to an eco, but we've seen Team 1 have some good success with pistols. I don't think you can count yourself safe if you are Extra Salt, even if all you are up against are Glocks. No utility, no armor, just the classic Glock. And Extra Salt don't want to lose to Glocks. They want to beat the Glocks.
That they do. And OC's going to peek around. Floppy gets one. PRT sprayed down. So he's picking up his game here, up to 17. Tied for the lead in frags with Fang. And you're going to see Team 1, I mean, at the very least, they're trying to take a slow pace of play and make something happen, but I don't know if anything can now because Extra Salt's closed the gap. And look at XNS bunny hopping along. But at the end of the day, he goes down, and so will Pesa. Maluk, last one standing, 5v1, only a Glock. He's probably just going to run through and try for something. Instead, no, he backs off. He wants to make Extra Salt earn every last frag, and they finally do as he ragdolls onto the ground. Tied up here, 10-10.
Now Extra Salt again are on their favorite side, and Team 1 are on the side which they do not like to play. They're going to fully invest here. But Extra Salt are just going to try and get more and more comfortable as the rounds go on. As the pressure mounts for Team 1, as the scoreline gets closer and closer to 16, things will only get more and more important for Team 1 to win. They have the op for OC Extra Salt. Let's see where they want to put him. Looks to be going to the secret drop, and yeah, he goes outside the secret. It's a good spot to hold. Team 1 are ready to bust him towards A. Door goes open, and Floppy's fallen. Too many targets to count. Marky's only able to get one as well, and the A site relatively open for business for Team 1. JT gets taken out by Maluki as well, leaving it down to OC and Fang. It's a fast and very silent A play, and it might just be a save from Extra Salt here. OC, one parting gift, but I don't think they'll commit to this retake. I say that, but Fang is going out to heaven.
Yeah, I think they're going to pop in and get some information to see what they can do here. Oh, that nade might change Fang's mind. Yeah, it does. Fang, just going to hang around, maybe find an exit frag. OC as well, and he does. But at this point, they are just going to be content with the rifles they have because there's no time left. Bomb's going to explode, and Team 1 going to pick up an 11th. The fact of the matter is, though, Team 1's A pop has looked better than I've ever seen.
Yeah, it caught Extra Salt again in transition in that setup period. And that's exactly what makes the A pop so deadly. Now, what's the answer for Extra Salt? Because they had the molly down door, and it did not deter Team 1. So do you want to play that aggressive angle on top of Hut, or do you want to play a little more passive, wait for the utility, and then go for a retake, or have a couple players in mini, another one back silo, and try and hold from there?
Well, we'll see how they adjust. OC heading in towards the ramp room, and they still want to go aggressive. Alright, gotta respect that. OC has a chance to do some damage here if Pacer or Malb show face a little too preemptively. He is lined up on top of that big box. 1:30 on the clock, and everyone is at a standstill. Waiting to see who will make that first move. 3 players on A for Extra Salt. PRT peeking around towards outer yard, which is a little softer in terms of presence. And now they are going to move their way up. JT on the other end of this wall of smokes. And now Floppy will be with him. Or at least Floppy is nearby if he's needed.
Going to be a B play, surely, from Team 1 as they push in towards the ramp room, but OC's the Guardian here, and he's got the first kill. That's on the Malbs. Pace's here as well as JT finds a kill elsewhere on the map. A bin, uncharacteristic miss from OC, opens up a lot of space for Team 1 to rotate down to B, and I think that's exactly where they're going to drop. Yes, indeed, the rotations are already coming down from Extra Salt as well. Marquis opened out the single door, but he's going to go towards double, it seems, but he's the only one down to defend the B site, and while he might be stalling Team 1 momentarily, they still have all 3 players ready to go. The windows have been broken. Marquis is trying to make his presence as impactful as he can, show as many people as he can, but he's going to go down for free. XNS clears out towards Trophy, or rather Control Room, excuse me, and now the take is coming on. The bomb is going down. Floppy's rotating in. JT and Fang are here with him. JT's going towards ramp. Fang towards double doors. Floppy not going to see anyone. Fang's in trouble as Maluki's trained with the op. Maluki should be able to get this opening kill, but he misses the timing on the opening duel. The nade comes through. Pace has found JT, though, and that makes this retake harder, but here comes Floppy, trying to stand tall for his squad. Molotov into XNS, burns him forward, but it's going to be a kill for him, and Floppy falls to Maluki. The health might be low, but it's enough to win the round, and Team 1 grow their lead. The money's there for Extra Salt, but a timeout is a wise call coming out from the Salters, as Team 1 are finding life again.
Still enough for a buy here for Extra Salt, but wow, XNS, a Molotov in front of him, one that lands at his feet, and he just charges forward because he has no choice and still gets the frag and doesn't die because the Molotov actually fades before dealing the finishing blow. Wow, just incredible post-plant play coming through from Team 1. I was surprised Extra Salt took as long as they did to go to the B site because I'm pretty sure they had the information from OC that all of Team 1 were there, but I guess they weren't convinced that the hit was going to end up in that direction, so they kind of stuck around A, a couple of players there, only one at the B site, and then when the B site player falls, well, that was it. Even though Floppy made a valiant effort, it was still Team 1 able to close it out. Now they're up to 12, and they're 4 rounds away from pushing us to a third map.
Overpass. A map these two teams have not played in their current iterations against each other. Or even back when Sonic was on the roster of Extra Salt, these two teams have never played Overpass against each other. That would be a brand new map, which is something you don't normally see every day against competition in the same region. You normally see relatively the same, especially when these two teams have played 5 of the 7 maps against each other. Vertigo being the one that would never come through, as Team 1 banned that map every single time first.
Yeah. I would say that even if we go to Overpass, Extra Salt loves playing there too, so it would still be their advantage. But if Team 1 takes Nuke, that to me is impressive in and of itself, and I wouldn't count them out of anything in a Map 3.
Yeah, Map 3 would be anyone's game, especially with the momentum Team 1 would gain from a victory here on Nuke, especially after seeing how Inferno went the opposition's way. Team 1 definitely battling back incredibly well. And you have to give it to them on this T side. They're looking very good. It's definitely a far cry from what you would have expected given their win rate on the map in terms of T rounds, still under that 40% margin. But that A-pop is absolutely deadly. And I think what Team 1's doing is they're simplifying their T side.
They're really
grouping up and going together, using a couple bits of utility here, good flashes, but it's basically standard stuff that's very simple, nothing too crazy, and they have the skill to get those simple plays working.
Yeah, Extra Salt's just not ready for that type of play coming from Team One. I think that's the difference right now. It's not that they can't stop those hits, it's just that they weren't necessarily ready for them. But because Team One continues to do that, I think Extra Salt is. I don't know if they will be able to overcome Extra Salt for these last 4 round victories. That's the real challenge here because they will have to start mixing things up. All right. Well, we got a bit of a technical pause, I believe. Perhaps an issue coming through here. Connection issue. Not too sure. We don't have much information. But either way, just waiting for that to be sorted before we get back into the action. I would say this might favor Extra Salt a little bit because Team 1 kind of gained the momentum, and these extended pauses, they can help to kind of cut that away, right?
Yeah, I'd agree. Definitely giving both teams a time to slow down and mellow out favors Extra Salt far more than it favors Team 1. They have all the momentum right now. And we are hearing it as FPS issues on a couple of players, so hopefully those will get resolved quickly and we can get back into this game. Because we're at such a cliffhanger junction right now. 12-10, a very critical round coming up front, and we don't know who's going to win the round. It's like getting to the end of a book, but the sequel doesn't come out for another year. And it ends on that uncertain who's going to die, is somebody going to die here situation. And I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to know who's going to win this game.
I want to know who left that potato chip bag on that chair in Trophy. Why would you leave a full
bag? They might have had an
bag
evacuation of some sort.
It must have been that. But that poor potato chip bag will never get eaten. Forever cursed to Trophy Room here.
But hey, maybe one of the players will have a snack on it one of these days.
Hey, maybe. Maybe they'll make
Never
it
know.
a physics object and you'll be able to shoot it around.
That would be fun.
The thing is, I know they avoid using having any type of physics objects now in Counter-Strike because it makes sense because it can interfere with a bunch of different stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, either way, the timeout has now ended. No more potato chip talk, more Counter-Strike talk as Team 1 are trying to close out this map. 12 rounds picked up, and their T side has not looked too shabby at all.
Not too shabby. I think it's a bit of an understatement. This looked quite good from where I'm sitting, and again, their A pop is looking so fresh. I'm wanting to see that more and more from them, although they probably don't want to overuse it so Extra Salt don't get adapted to it. But it just looks to be probably a take that they can use to really win rounds that they cannot afford to lose. OC's outer yard trying to find something with the AWP, but he's not been given the opportunity to do so just yet. Double outer yard play is still here, and JT's holding ramp again. They swap between JT and OC for the most part, Extra Salt. Team 1 are playing this a lot slower than they have been previously, but they're still grouped up again, and that's what has been their saving graces. OC's caught out by Mobs, and will they expect the player in the smoke? That's going to be Floppy. Ships in the, or rather Fang, ships in the night, working forward. Fang's not yet to be spotted. They're crossing around a big garage. He's expecting it now. Does he check the right angle? Marky's got one. Fang now going back and forth. Floppy's traded out 4v3 in the favor of Team 1, but the bomb is down in the open. JT's left his ramp, and Fang is struck for 2.
Oh.
That's 2 big kills from Fang. Maybe a third, but he's done the damage, and JT finishes the job. Marky's rotating in to help out. X and S alone. And this has been a collapse from Team 1 as Extra Salt, thanks in massive part to Fang, are looking primed to take this round.
I think it's not just Fang. It's Marky, of course, as well, to ensure when that frag comes through, they stop thinking about the position that Fang is in. But it's not over yet. XNS is going to get that one on Marky, makes it a 1v1. The bomb is dropped in the open, and he has to be wary of the fact that JT could be watching it, and time is ticking away. XNS has to make a play, and JT knows it, but JT goes down! XNS the headshot, and Team 1 have picked up a 13th. How do they manage to pull these rounds back? Extra Salt have looked in control for at least 2 of the 3 times that Team 1 have come back and gotten these types of rounds. It's insane.
If you look at the premier stats for this past season, Extra Salt do not have a lot of clutchers. Team 1 have 2 players with 6 1vx's in CASA and PRT. Extra Salt have Marky. Then they have another, I think it's Maluki or Mobs, who's next in line with about 5 for Team 1. Extra Salt don't have anyone nearby. And we're seeing that when it comes down to the 1vx's. Team 1 are winning them consistently, and Extra Salt just keep up coming half a yard short. Floppy, though, he's got 2 deagles from back silo. Maybe
Oh
he can
my
clutch it up with the deagle. Maybe make a Malbs play out of it. Pesa's taken down by Fang. And Maluki's missed the first shot. He's taken down. Extra Salt with a pistol buy to be able to bring a round back into their favor. And they're channeling their inner Team 1 now, John, as they've gotten a big round back. And more importantly, reset Team 1 with minimal investment.
Of all the rounds, of all the buy-ups for Extra Salt, it's that one that gets them back on their feet. So strange, but you see Team 1, they tried for that quick pop again. Unfortunately, they walked into a stacked site and Extra Salt just dealt all of the damage. So you were right, they have to vary it a little bit, but the thing is, it's still a simplistic play, and Extra Salt are set up on A right now to deal with it. Not to mention when you have a stack, of course, that helps out. Oh, yeah. Anyway, Extra Salt are able to get a full-on buy-up here. Only pistols coming through for Team 1, and Team 1 get the opener. Maluk picks up a gun, but he gets dropped immediately by OC through the smoke. 4v4, but the control has been gained towards B. Important player here is Floppy. He has to help deny any presence from Team 1 on to B, and in fact, he's going to give it to them. He wants the reinforcements to come through before he tries to challenge, or at least you think he would. He goes through the smoke, gets one, not the second. Malbs has got the headshot.
Now the side's under the control of Team 1. Bomb going down in front of, or on the side of the boxes, but 3 players here for Team 1 means it's going to be a hard retake for Extra Salt. And Malbs with the deagle is such a menace. There's still the lurk of PRT out towards Secret Stairs too. He's watching the flank. Is he going to expect Marky? I think Marky's might have spotted him. Yes, he does. That's a big opening kill. Malbs still out towards the ramp, but he's tagged down low. Marky's got the second. It's all down to Pesa. Down the vents. He catches the first, but he now has his position revealed to the opposition. OC as the op train. He's out in the open. He's legged Pesadillo. Fangs on the bomb. It's a safe defuse for him. Pesa's trying to flash forward. OC's Tech 9 will do the job. And Extra Salt back-to-back victories, but that round way too close for comfort for Extra Salt. Bomb plant means you can get a half buy for Team 1. Their lost bonus not enough to get a full buy into this round, but they are going to have a lot of utility coming through here, and we know Team 1 are always dangerous no matter what buy they have.
Yeah, that once Pesa goes down there, I think Team 1 really were stuck. Both players on the site proper and overloaded from some very good play by the Salters. So 12 round victories for Extra Salt, looking to tie things up once more. Last time was 10-10, and Team 1 picked up 3 in a row. But now Extra Salt up against Pistols again. Trying to close this one. They lose the first player, but it's Marky and OC, then Floppy and Marky to get 4 consecutive frags. Pesa, the last one standing. It got scary for, I'd say, a second or so, but Extra Salt, a nice nade thrown from Marky to settle things down, and then the frags just started piling on, and JT gets the killing blow. So a very quick round, and we're all tied up at 13-13. This is a pivotal one coming through.
This is the round, I think, that could decide who wins this map.
Yep.
This is the decisive one. It's going to be a full buy from Team 1, but again, their money is down to brass tacks. Utility, a little sparing. Team 1 had such a good T-side to get to this point, such a good nuke to get to this point.
Yeah.
But it's almost out of reach. But if they win this round, they can put us onto overpass with a decent amount of ease. JT's caught out again, alone on ramp. They're exploiting this. Something I wanted to mention is that they notice that JT is the lone defender on ramp, and they're trying to get this control for free because it is very easy to force one player away from the ramper position, especially if you catch him out with utility in hand.
And they did.
OC might have to be rotated into ramp next round, but he's already down in towards control. Maluki pops out towards A, but it's all an elaborate ruse, and Marky has traded it back. OC and JT here to hold the line. Team 1 stalling, seeing if Extra Salt want to get overly aggressive or perhaps a little antsy. Get stuck in rotations. Utility ready to go through. The little utility they have left, no flashes except for one on PRT, and it's not going to be used on the take. JT demolished by Malbs. OC yet to be spotted. Do they expect him here in control room? He's been quiet, but now he's making a little bit of noise. Walking down, double doors is smoked, but the advantage sits at Team 1's court.
I mean, Extra Salt still have money to absorb around loss here. Thing is, you don't really want to lose these rifles for nothing. Oh, so he's going to break the glass, make some noise. Malbs. So next on Molotov, but it doesn't connect on, and Marky finds the opener. There we go. That's going to trigger Extra Salt to try and go for this retake.
Oh!
OC finds Pesa. PRT and XNS kind of trapped. XNS is down, and so is PRT. What a retake for Extra Salt. 2 from OC, 1 from Fang. And that's going to give them a 14th round victory. Oh, man.
What a show from Extra Salt on the retake. An absolutely fantastic display. Plays on every single individual coming through for Extra Salt. And that was a round I didn't think they had much of a chance to win. And yet they do it in such a clean fashion. Team 1 have to be wondering what happened and how things went wrong. They are able to force into this one. Galil's on 3, AK's on 2, a good amount of utility as well. But they lose this next round without a bomb plant. Or even if they lose this next round in general, it's 15 rounds to Extra Salt. But again, I'm just thinking of the economic situation going forward. If they lose this one, and that's not the start they wanted. Big pickup from Fang.
Yeah, good aggression, good adjustment here by Extra Salt. They don't let Team 1 freewheel towards the outer yard, and as soon as Fang gets that, you see him fall back. It's the right play. You have the man advantage. You do not want to give a free trade to Team 1, especially considering Fang was very exposed by his lonesome. So Extra Salt now just have to tuck in and wait for Team 1 to come to them.
They don't have to fight. They just have to wait. Although sometimes you do want to play a little more aggressive on the CT side of Nuke to make sure that your defense is a little easier. But Team 1 are looking stalled out, John. They're spinning their wheels and not getting any traction whatsoever. Since that long pause, it's been all Extra Salt.
Well, I think that previous round really took the wind out of their sails, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to try to go for the pop onto the A site again. Marky's fully blinded. No, it's in fact a play towards the vents. Pesa's going to take a ton of damage on Molotov just to get down there. And he's waiting. He sees the door open. A smoke needs to be used, and it is. So they will get the bomb plant at the very least, but it's still a 5v4 and not that much health for Pesa left, as mentioned. XNS waiting at the A site, hoping to catch someone off on the rotation. We'll see if that doesn't come to fruition, but Marky could clean him out here. He will. Free frag for Marky. That makes things a lot easier as 4 players on Extra Salt just going to walk right in, and OC up close and personal. Drops Pesa. Malbs and Maluk still standing. Malbs over at Decon. He's trying to get a beat on one, and he does. That's important, but he still needs to keep denying this defusal, and he's surrounded. Marky is next victim. Malbs will go down to OC. It's all up to Maluk, and he can't do it either. OC gets him. It's going to be close in the defusal, but I think they've got it. Yes, they do. 15-13 in favor of Extra Salt, but Team 1, oh my goodness. What an effort they have put forward here.
That was so close of a victory there by Extra Salt. Team 1 almost scraping by again. But it comes down to some great individual plays from the Extra Salt side. That time it was OC on his op. 3 kills on that retake. A timeout called by Extra Salt, as they should. This is their last chance in this series to stay in the upper bracket, or else they will be playing either Pain or Bad News Bears. Both teams that can take the distance or take down Team 1. There is no safe opponent in this qualifier, John, which makes it so deadly to any team playing. And with only 1 spot available for Esl Chalenger Anaheim, every single advantage you can get, upper bracket looking like it, is so important.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up an excellent point. All 4 teams absolutely deserve to be here. 100% they're in the top 10 of North America right now. I think the only team that could have been here but isn't, because they got eliminated in the open qualifier, I believe, by the Bad News Bears, or the Party Astronauts. But outside of that, man, you got the cream of the crop, at least at this level in North America.
Yeah. I would say Party Astronauts and RBG would be the other 2 teams that I could add into this mix.
Or Triumph.
Yeah, or Triumph. But the thing is, becomes at that point, it's not who would you add in, it's who would you take out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I could take any of these teams out. They're just all very much around the same level of competency. All very towards the top of their game. But Team 1's game might be running out here. Bang! It's a line number 2! And the bomb as well! That's a gift on a silver platter! And Marky's starting to make it a little bit of a gold one as he's picked up another kill. And now it's all down to Pesadillo. 1v5. Flawless for Extra Salt. And they topple Team 1. It wasn't